Welcome to TOURonno. It is a cold day here. Not crazy cold, just cold enough. Kind of a weird story of what happened this morning because I woke up and there was a message saying that someone had booked a tour, which is great. And then literally the tour for today. And then literally as I'm going through, yeah, they just didn't show up for the time despite booking it this morning. So that's what we're dealing with. So we're gonna go for the walk. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna do it on our own terms and our own time, and we're gonna see where it goes. So hopefully y'all are here. You can enjoy, and we got a good show for you. Hello, Juanita. Hi, stranger.
Hi.
How you doing?
On your walk?
Yeah, literally just started.
Nice.
You're welcome to join. I don't know
Hi,
what's
everybody.
I don't know what's going on with Prism, but literally and just like no one is watching. Just like, but Juanita's here, and she
Weird.
said something. It's been doing this. It's been doing this for
Wow.
2 days. Well, this is the second day. So, yeah. Good to see you, babe. Have fun. Hello, Yoshi. Good to see you, my friend. There you are. Yeah, literally, I was going to just not have my walk at all today. But then realized pretty quickly that it's just like, oh, I actually have a tour today. I can do good. And then as it went on, I'm just like, well, never mind. They're just not going to show up. Prism is glitching out for me as well. Yeah, something's going on. I'm available Friday. Are you? Maybe we can do something. Funny enough, Friday I also have another tour day that day, and then I leave for Ottawa. So I'm not available this Friday, but hopefully soon. I should be back next week. But yeah, gonna go home for Easter, gonna go see family. But it's kind of unfortunate because I had planned to walk with Alexander today. And then when I got the tour, I had to cancel on him, and then the tour just didn't show up. So, yeah, there's that. Hello, Alex. Good to see you today. Yeah, I don't know why Prism's being so glitchy, but apparently no one's watching right now. So, if you are here, you are an anomaly and don't actually exist. These are the days where I require interaction, because otherwise I just don't know who's here or how many people are. But welcome. I like to show off some interesting areas of the city. Hopefully we can come to a couple good ones. And maybe it'll be a 1 hour walk, maybe 2 hour walk, maybe an 8 hour walk. Not likely to be an 8 hour walk, but perhaps, you'll never know. Hello, Otterly. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome to April, which is kind of crazy that April's already here. We're like a fourth done the year? That doesn't sound right, but I still think it's January sometime. But my God, it does feel good to be on this side of winter. A lot of people are saying it is cold today. It is, it's a bit chilly. But none too crazy. Man, what a tiny little rat dog. We're gonna play a little game today. I'm gonna go north, and at any point, if anyone wants me to go a direction, you can let me know. And hopefully y'all are having a good day so far. It's just kind of very nondescript day so far, I will say. Nothing too crazy. Nothing going overboard. Actually, it's kind of funny to not know how many people are watching you because you're just like, you just assume you're alone. So it could be as many people or as few people as I think you could possibly imagine. I wonder if that means that we should have to like update Prism. Or if Prism updates automatically. They should update automatically, I think. I don't know things, I'm just here. I am contemplating what is for dinner. And when you're contemplating that when it's like barely lunch, it's like, yeah, fair point. Ooh, I did make smash burger wraps last night. And literally it's just burger on a tortilla. That's a smash burger style. And then you just wrap up the tortilla. It's great. God, they were so good. For those who don't know, this is Yonge Street. And because the tour didn't show up, I'm just going to kind of go over my general itinerary of what happens when I have people for my tours. But I always like to point out on Yonge Street a couple things. Number one, Yonge Street is the longest street in the world. It starts down at Lake Ontario and then stretches up into the middle of Ontario. And then all the way west, where it wraps around Lake Superior and goes all the way to Thunder Bay. So if you were to walk this street, it would take you a long, long, long time. But the other thing is that because Toronto is kind of set up like a grid, whenever you see that there's an incline, that is usually an indication that Toronto is going up, that you are moving north. So if it seems more even, you're likely going east-west. But if you're ever lost, you can always just follow the slope and get down to the CN Tower. Because the CN Tower is usually always also south. Little things to pick up. Hello, Andrew. Good to have you today. This part of Yonge Street, I always like to say, it's a little more old, but very mixed. A lot of places you'll see are bordering up here, meaning that there's probably going to end up being some kind of condo development happening here. But we couldn't tell you what that looks like, unfortunately. And of course, Good Earth Coffee across the street. Hello, Debs. Hello, Rodlin. Good to have you today. But I do like to point out, a couple of years ago when I was giving tours, there was one guy who essentially booked me for 8 hours and just wanted to walk the entire time. Up to the point where I was just like, I need a break. My legs will fall off. I need a break. So I finally was just out here, and we ended up going into Good Earth Coffee Shop over here. It was fine, it was tasty, but the cost of everything there was like astronomical. I was just like, how is this? I mean, I guess it's literally a downtown cafe in Toronto, but there's just so much around it that just isn't on that same level, right? So, I'm curious. If you look up here, you will see that there is a vertical sign for Glad Day Bookshop. This is where they were like 2 bookshops ago. So they still have the sign up there. I don't know why they've never taken it down. It must be like an issue with actually having it. But we need more compact condo apartment rentals and treat it like a real big city. No arguments here. More housing is always better for everybody. Varied housing is best. But it's never necessarily a bad thing. Hey Liam, good to see you. And over here where it says fresh produce and flowers. Ooh, that's new actually. Interesting. But the second floor there used to be a place called Puzzle Pint. It was Riddle Room. Sorry, Riddle Room. And Riddle Room was an escape room. And they also had like board and video game cafe in front. It was a nice place. But one of the things I liked about them was that the exterior window, they made it up to look like tetrominoes. So when you sat in the space, you would be able to see how it looked like as a Tetris blocks, but a bunch of Tetris blocks falling from down. Ooh, good question. Hopefully it's nice and warm out there for all of you. I said, here it's not too crazy, not too bad. Not too warm, not too cold. I don't understand who complains about living in a shoebox. Like, yeah, because if you're in a city, you want a big space, go to the suburbs. Kind of. That being said, I feel like you should have enough space to be able to live. I have seen some of the studios, and they really are tiny. And to pay like thousands of dollars a month for something tiny, I can understand how that's not a very appealing option for a lot of people. But hey, for some people who don't have much and not planning to like start a family or anything, works perfectly. I think the dampened gray is just a common effect of the day. Or pure. It's a city, it should be dense, that's the trade-off, small compact apartments. Oh yeah, but here's the thing. Like, if people want to have a good apartment, it's not like a shoebox is the only style, you know? There are options out there, and different companies will have different sizes and different offers for you. Like, there's a trade-off for everything. You're in the city, you expect a smaller place? Absolutely. But like, some people want to have a 1-bedroom, some people want to have a 2-bedroom. Different people, different needs. It's just finding the one that fits best. Like I said, more housing is always better because it encourages more people to find what they're looking for.
This year I was expecting this.
I'm always just like, more housing, more transit. The two things that you really can't go wrong with in a city. Now, does everything need to be a condo? Probably not. Probably shouldn't be even. Because the more you oversaturate one market, the less likely anything is to be like really great for across the board. But we do live in a capitalist society. So demand will indicate what actually gets lived in. How are you today? You know what, Dustin? I'm doing okay. Technically, I made money by not working today. So that's fun. Do you like Thomas the Tank Engine? I think it's supposed to be Tank Engine. I remember liking it enough when I was growing up. Not one that I've actually, watched much as an adult, but more housing is almost always good. Yeah, Toronto should make transit paramount considering the amount of people coming to the city. Right? They're gonna have to get very creative about a lot of transit. Like, a lot of transit is gonna be happening here. How many people are expected to come for FIFA? Like, a couple dozen thousand. Maybe even a couple 100,000, which is kind of Toronto, you can normally drop an event in the city and have it not feel like the city's overwhelmed. This might actually overwhelm the city, especially with transit, so. Does anyone want my rain? You know what? Hopefully not today. I gotta say that. All right, we could go up to Bloor, or we can come this way, because this way's got some interesting stuff. There's 7 West there. Very nice place. Tasty, tasty. Who is walking with you today? Today, no one. I had to... Well, what happened this morning was I was going to have Alexander come on, and he is another tour guide in the city, and he wanted to share a bunch of stuff. But I had to cancel because I ended up getting a tour booking today. So I went to the tour booking, and then they didn't show up. So just like, well, okay then. Especially with the congestion, the more it has, bigger, better, and the more lines of transit will navigate the problem. Exactly. And here's the thing that a lot of people sometimes forget. It's just like, if you make transit an attractive and viable offer, it does make things better for drivers because less people will be on the road. Then you get people like me who are just walkers. I'm just like, I can be there in 2 days. We're fine. Maybe TTC could borrow the Octo Line 1 and 3 train to help most people on the 6. I mean, the 6 is another issue. But I don't know, maybe I hear it's getting better, but I don't know for sure. They're lost. You know what? I agree. Y'all get me instead. And I enjoy spending time with you. And I don't have to worry about ratings, rankings, anything like that. I felt like my response to them was very neat, nice, and courteous, being like, well, I waited at the location, the amount of time, didn't hear back from you, so I'm gonna call it. Also, just nice little gardens over here. Out of a building. All right, I think I know very important business needs doing. Boop. Just need more subway lines, alternative lines, and better connect the suburbs to the downtown core. That's kind of the big thing. It's like the suburbs are kind of where you have the most issues. But like, the problem is that no one ever wants to take a bus, right? The bus is always supposed to be the last line of transit for anything. But like, we'll see. Not quite sure how you can incorporate too much more. Unless you did like long scale street buses or trams. Maybe tram systems would work. But this is an interesting little courtyard. Maybe Ottawa should have gotten some trains set in like Lane 5. I think Ottawa does have a train, but I've never ridden. I will be there this weekend, so maybe I'll get the chance. Who knows? A red maple. Oh, so these are all just different trees. Sugar maple. Boxwood. Oh, bosswood. Interesting. You'd look at that and you wouldn't actually clock the fact that they're all different trees until you actually take a moment and be like, yeah, these are all different trees. They all just grow ever so slightly differently. It's also kind of at the point now where the weather is just like burgeoning into goodness. So, it should be nice. Buses are slow and inconsistent. They should be the last line of defense. Exactly. The ideal is to have something that's quick and operational and goes to a major hub so that's easy to kind of knock that turn. Even if you had like, yeah, I feel like most people think buses is where you start and just like, no, buses should be where you end. It's kind of like the last 100, what is it, last last 10 kilometers or something like that. That's the ideal system. These are some nice places. I'm surprised they're letting me walk through them. Not them giving them much choice, of course. Where are you? I am currently just on Bay, well, just beside Bay. Over here, you will see U of T. Beautiful campus. I always like showing off U of T. But I just saw some interesting buildings over here, so taking some time to check them out. U of T, of course, is the largest, well, technically it's the largest real estate operator in Toronto, which I think is crazy when you think about it. Apparently that's where they make most of their money. I had no idea. Apparently that's a big thing with universities. It's like they're the number one. York is the second highest landlord or landholder. Can't remember what the title is. But then TMU's number 3. And it's like, you don't think of that, but that does make a lot of sense. The 2 and 4 O train, good line. Line 3 and 1 have wheel bearing problem, the other technical problem. How are you getting into Ottawa? I am probably taking a train because it seems like during the evening, that seems like the best option. Because I actually have a tour that morning. So I'm gonna go tour and then just grab my stuff and then head home. Well, head to my parents. I don't think, they haven't moved to a new place yet, but I know they will soon. Hello, Eddie. Good to see you too, my friend. It is a beautiful day today. We're just coming up to U of T campus, which normally I would just walk right through. But I'm wondering if there might be some value in exploring some of the side parts of it. And it's like you got these beautiful, beautiful old buildings. Hello, Kevin. Good to see you today, my friend. Been to plenty of big cities. They almost all have the exact same playbook. Extensive transit systems, compact apartments to accommodate many people. They do a good job connecting the city to it. Yeah. I will say that a lot of transit systems work on like the idea of going south to a common downtown destination and then branching out from there, which works enough. But I think that what Toronto did with the Eglinton line is actually very smart because now there is a relief line going throughout, so people who are coming down don't need to come all the way down to Union or come all the way down to Bay, or sorry, to St. George or Spadina. They can actually just cross in Midtown, which is a game changer for a lot of people. Looks like a historic building. I've never actually been around this way before. But U of T is a beautiful campus. A lot of really nice stuff here. I'm probably around Trinity College right now, just based off of my rough idea of where I am. I honestly say I have not taken this path before, and that's because, oh, it looks like it just ends. Well, I suppose there is that. Well, let's just walk over here. Why does Go Metrolink thought about building places to live and shop on top of Go stations where Go parking are? Sorry, are you asking why if they did put that up, or why they might have done that? Because I think, like, here's the thing. If you are building into an area, and you know that there's a lot of people who are going to be coming through, especially if they're parking and then like leaving the car, like put a coffee shop or something there. Make it a neighborhood, make it a destination. People will go places, especially if it's convenient for them. Wish we had our tour guide from yesterday. He was amazing. But Randy's, for a second I was just like, I am offended. I'm right here. And I was just like, oh wait, I was ready. No, Randy's great. We are a pro Randy channel. only thought was just like, they literally just booked the tour today. So literally they book a tour and then they don't show up. Like 2 hours later, that's unusually fast, you know? I think Go needs to build a rental apartment at a Go station. You know what? Not a bad idea. So many places you can kind of build up in that area. I've been to Seoul, Tokyo, and New York City and Paris. These big cities treat transit paramount. Toronto is trying to do hybrid, city that wants suburb spaces styles, which is very hard to pull off. That's kind of one of the things I tell people when they take a tour of mine is I'm just like, Toronto is a city that's in constant flux. But I'm just like, it really wants to be everything to everybody. And when you do that, it's really hard to pull it off. So I really do feel like we should be doubling down on like transit interconnectedness and community rather than suburbs, because suburbs are necessary for sure, but like not to the extent, because they are also like, suburbs are a major drain on a city in the sense that it costs money to maintain them. There's less population density, there's less things going on. They're also less likely to be community spaces because everyone just spends time in their houses, you know? Toronto is the biggest city in Canada. Toronto is the biggest city in Canada. It is the fourth biggest in population in North America. Biggest in Canada for sure. I think Vancouver is 8th, but now Toronto is a big city for sure. It's not just the downtown that I explore all the time, but I just like exploring the downtown. Ottawa should have built full heavy subway with modern station. I agree completely. Ottawa is actually a city that could get away with a very, very nice, compact downtown. Like a subway solution for Ottawa is kind of a no-brainer. They could absolutely pull it off really well. Do you ever get nervous walking around in such a large city, so many people? Not really. Not anymore, at least. When I first moved here, I was a little more skittish. But I was also like, I was just a lot skinnier then and a lot less tough. Like, I was kind of a wimp, to be fair. But I'm just like, now I'm definitely not. And also, I've kind of realized just people don't care. Like, you can usually just walk right by unless someone's actively, like, off the rocker. Which does happen. There are people here. Love that. Nice subtle signage. Hello, Mo. Snowed up here again. Hope everyone has a great day. We hope you have a great day too, darling. Thanks for showing up. Ottawa land is much larger than Toronto proper. Yeah, Ottawa is also really spread out, which is interesting as well, because that brings up like all different issues. But lower population density, it actually does make it harder for a city to maintain those areas, because you're only getting so much from taxes. You still got to make sure the roads are paved, you know? Ottawa is much bigger. I think I live near Ottawa Valley. Ottawa's very spread out. Toronto downtown for sure is very compact. But about the size of Prince Edward Island. Wow, that's cool. With the valley included, I think for sure that would be the case. Wow, that guy just flew right through. Good for him. I'm sure he has places to go. How's your day going today? Things are good. I am having a lovely day, relaxing with friends. I get to kind of share my walk with people again. And yeah, the story of the day, I know some people have heard this multiple times now. Someone literally booked a tour this morning at like 11 o'clock. And then I get ready because the tour's at 2. I get there, they didn't show up. So I'm just like, this has happened twice now. But hopefully this person doesn't do like a chargeback. I've jumped through the ropes now where I'm just like, okay, I can actually like input my information so that they don't scam me. But yeah, he has places to be, right? I'm about 134 miles before Ottawa Valley. Okay. That's good to know. I am excited to see Ottawa this weekend. I'm going to see if my dad wants to go for another walk. Ideally, if we can do some more stuff downtown. Like, my dad's he's such a historian. And just like, he could literally he could do this very easily. And just do long form videos about like, what's great about TOURonno, what's great about Ottawa. Yeah, he'd be very good at it, actually. If you think Randy is smart, which he is, Randy is also very smart. It's not a contest. But hello, First Last. Good to see you today, my friend. This is, of course, the Conqueror of India. As Randy pointed out, the statue was in India until, you know, their liberation, in which case they didn't really want that statue there anymore, which is understandable. Here, I have this reminder of your repressive history. But while we're here, I just want to give everyone a little heads up. My name is Matti. I'm a tour guide in Toronto. And if you or someone you know is coming to the city and you're looking for a unique experience, why not gift them with a customized walking tour? You can find my services below in the TRIPADVISOR and VIATOR links. I'd love to have you in the city, so if you're ever but nearby, please let me know. And don't not show up, because that's silly. Just a thought. I will say, if you are enjoying yourself, please consider liking and subscribing. Liking encourages YouTube to recommend this to new people, and subscribing is something I do every day. And I'd love to show you around different places and to introduce you to interesting people. So hopefully you could consider coming back. But we'll see you very soon. Oh, helps if I hit the right button. If you're not first, you are last. I mean, good mustache day. Oh, thanks for noticing. I am happy that I have trimmed back my mustache, because it does make it much easier, much easier to work with. Especially for food. Like, having food is a big deal. Ottawa downtown proper is everything between Bronson to Rideau Canal to Queensway 417 around 2012. I started to think downtown Ottawa to expand to Tony Pasture and along the O train line 2 to Dowslack. Did you trim the stash? I trimmed the stash a little bit in the middle, but that's just to make sure that it can actually, like, I was getting like those walrus fang things. It just became too much. It became really hard to kind of push it over and out. So I had to actually like find a way to glue it down in a way that made it so it was easier to work with. Like when the ends of the mustache are like pointy. You know what? It's a skill. Downtown Ottawa to also include the Glebe. Oh, Glebe is nice, actually. I enjoy the Glebe. That's where my family lived there briefly. But one of the things I am excited to do is that when I go to Ottawa, I'm going to be reading my mom's dissertation. So, actually going to get to sit down and work with it, do some more rehearsals, which is something that me and Damon haven't been doing this week, but I'm still in the memorization stage, so it's not entirely a problem. I figure the train ride over will be study. We find out I'm taking the train. I'm gonna get my ticket tonight. So I should be there starting Friday night and leaving Monday or Tuesday morning. We're of course coming up to Robards Library. Building itself is famous simply just for the fact that Some people see turkey. It's supposed to be a peacock. But let's be fair, most people see turkey. But either way, certainly a curious building. You can get a cheap flight to Ottawa. You can be there in something like 1 hour and take advantage of the O train line 4 at the airport. Ooh! That's actually a pretty interesting idea. Hello. Nevin, good to see you, buddy. It's been a while. Continue your journey. Always nice to see you mix it up doing your walks. It's informative and done right. I appreciate that. I'm glad that you're enjoying yourself. Thank you for being here today. I will say I am trying to, because this was supposed to be a tour day, and like I actually canceled, well, the person I was supposed to have on, I wasn't able to do because I decided to do this instead. But I was supposed to do the tour canceled, didn't show up. But I'm trying to treat this a bit more like a tour day. So we can kind of show specific things I like about the city, things that I enjoy, things that I hope you'll enjoy too. But we're gonna go for a walk. And if there's anything that you want to see specifically, let me know. But that's such a generous gift. And thank you very, very much. It's lovely to have you, my friend. You're the first super chat of April. That's wonderful. I appreciate it very much. Might also lose time getting through airport security checks. Yeah, that takes a minute or two. Trains are fun. Trains, you just get there, you just take a train. Although I have to look at prices today. I do also have to get my plane tickets down to Orlando, which I'm not looking forward to, because pricey, obviously. And then Fringe will come up very, very quickly. But, see where it goes. I'm feeling cautiously optimistic about the coming season. And I'm gonna have a lot of fun this year. But. Hello, Don. Good to see you today, my friend. It's funny, I normally go down through King's Court, but I'm just like, you know what? We're doing some exploratories today. Because like we do this street all the time, but we don't always do some of the streets between the major flow intersections. Oh, he has places to be right now. Oh my God, he's so cool. Also, why did I wear sunglasses today? It's not particularly dark outside. I also wore sunblock, and there is no sun. Although, technically, you should always wear sunblock because it's good for your skin. But, you know, who actually does that? That's the question. How much is canceling free for no tour shows? Well, because it's in 48, it was within 48 hours. They don't get to, like, they literally bought it and there wouldn't be a refund policy because you can't do refunds within 48 hours. So they might try to get their money back another way, which I would not be surprised if they did, because sometimes people scam you like that. They'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, I missed the tour. And then they'll be like, can we reschedule for another time using the same thing? And then they'll go to their credit card company afterwards so that there's no official record of it. It is something that happens. So if you are a tour guide, keep that in mind. No-show tours can be very tricky because sometimes they are literally just trying to scam you. It'd be interesting to do a tour with Matti. He's still about 300 miles from me. Well, I mean, I will be closer later this summer, I believe, because aren't you by Calgary? And I will be there with my show. But add that to my bucket list. Aw, that'd be lovely to have you. So we are kind of in like the heart of U of T district. So much money in this area. All the students, everyone living their best lives. Also, I have no idea how many likes or how many people are watching right now. So I'm just assuming that we're having a good time, we're vibing. I maybe have like, I'm gonna guess like 20 people watching. It's like, that's fine. The good news is you guys are keeping the chat active, and that's fantastic. Because when you keep the chat active, I know that at least one person is watching. If I know that at least one person is watching, I know I'm not alone. If a YouTuber falls in the forest and there is no one there to hear them stream, does it make a sound? The answer is maybe. Also, hey Medano, good to see you, buddy. Wearing sunglasses is good even on cloudy days. That is true, that is true. I still have those like light up sunglasses from when I went to the Drink Fest. It's like the light up sunglasses are actually great. But I'm just like, it is, the more you think about it, the more the product itself just doesn't make sense. So just like if you're wearing light up sunglasses, you're wearing them somewhere that's bright so no one would see the light up part. But if you're wearing it inside a place that's dark so you can see the lights, you're wearing sunglasses in a dark place, which also doesn't make any sense. It's hard sometimes to catch your live. I'm working when you go on. Glad I caught you today, man. If I had to choose Sith or Jedi, ooh, I'm gonna probably choose Sith. They have fewer rules. I'm not like a rules person. I wouldn't be like a bad Sith. I would just be like a little Sith, just full of Sith. I would too have a hard time hiring you do a tour because we could hang out with you more as a friend. Aw. Well, then you can just be a guest one day, and we'll just do a walk around on like having you as a guest on the channel. Did you know the Artemis 2 is being streamed live right now? Oh, that also makes sense. I didn't realize it was happening right now. That's great. If anyone's following that, I'm just like, it's about time we went back there. I do like how a lot of people have argued, being like, oh, why are we sending people to the moon when there's stuff that's happening here right now? I'm just like, well, this is where like evolution happens. The products that are made for these companies don't like, the products that are made for these things don't stay in space. We end up using them in everyday life. And it can be fascinating. And we get to find out more about our place in the universe, which is just equally cool. Hello, Alec. Good to see you, buddy. 3 hours until launch, but they are showing all the prep, etc. Oh yeah, so like, I probably have like 10 people watching. Which is fine. You're all here, and that's the important thing. Well, I could go west on Bloor, or I could go north and explore Annex-y areas. Oh, something going on at the Shoe Museum for picking Sith. Thanks, Niven. Good to see. Thank you very much, buddy. It's good to have you. Blast off time is supposed to be 6:30, depending on weather. That's true. I wonder if is it taking off from Cape Canaveral? Because if so, my friends Brian and Eric can actually literally see it from their front door then. So I don't know if it's there or Houston. So I don't know where the launch points are, but I feel like it's those two. I think it's neat. Not too interested in the launch. The time that guy skydived from space, though, I turned into that. That was cool. That would be cool. God, I can't even imagine skydiving from the sky, much less space. You know what? Even diving off a dock is sometimes too much for me. That being said, love roller coasters, so I don't know what the difference is there, but taking off in Florida. Okay, cool. I'm gonna have to ask Brian and Eric to be like, can you open the door so I can see the thing? I want to see the launch. Hey, Delta. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome back. Cute little place to live back there. Kind of just see the little laneway between the buildings. The Annex is a beautiful area. I find it very, very comfortable. Put my garbage bin out on time today. Hey, that is a victory in and of itself. Well, me and Jill just took down like 4 bags of cans and stuff today. Yeah, we don't empty that out as much as we should. Recycling is hard, man. You have to bring it down the stairs, put it in the bin, kind of, sort of, sort it. What a cute, creepy house. Guaranteed they have used that in some kind of haunted TV show at some point. Like, Are You Afraid of the Dark? Use that as a background, I get. I hate recycling, but I do it and end up having bags in my shed. Yeah, I understand that completely. Well, some things are really easy to recycle and some things aren't. The whole plastic recycling thing has kind of gone off the deep end, unfortunately. How's your Tuesday going? Tuesday is going well. I've got, well, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Isn't it Wednesday? Is someone living in there? I don't know. It is a creepy little house, though. That being said, I was a fan of it, so just like, this is cool. Let's keep this. Ooh, this is the Christian Science building. April Fool's got you. You know what? Touche. Touche, you done did it. You got me good. Got money back for cans in Alberta. Ooh.
I just fixed.
Apparently, not every province does that. Does Ontario Recycle get money back? You do not. Not for cans, well, for bottles, yes, but not for cans. Unless the cans are alcoholic, in which case then you do get an amount back. But not for like soda cans for some reason. Your shoelace is untied. I'm not wearing shoes. Silly man. Yeah. I'm wearing high heels, actually. Thank you very much. Sorry, I'm wearing high heels. That's why it's slightly higher now. Like soda cans. Yeah, no. Not for soda cans, but for beer cans, for alcohol seltzer cans, for sure they do it there. Where's this location? We're kind of in like Bloordale Escarpment, north of Yorkville. Kind of like bordering on the Annex a little bit. But nice area, for sure. Beautiful, beautiful places. In New York State, we don't have that. I wish we did. Interesting. Money back for recycles tends to incentivize recycling. Well, it just kind of also makes you think, just like, oh, well, how much money does it actually take to make new cans? If this is what they're doing. And this is how much you can potentially make for it. You could go to like so many recycling bins here and just take it across the border. Syracuse, nice city. Good to know, good to know. Bee Queen, I love the homes. Yeah, there's some really nice ones in the area, for sure. The Annex doesn't get explored as often, but like a lot of really cute little places here. With rotating week between paper cardboard one week and plastic tins the other week. I forget which is which. Ah, okay. That's an interesting way to do it. It does seem like it'd be more complicated though. Ours is just a throw and go system. You just kind of put it all together. Are you supposed to? We don't really have like dedicated bins for each particular type, but we pay a deposit at the store, so you already pay for it. True enough. True enough. 24 cans of soda a day. I wish I could make money back on it. You drink 24 cans of soda a day? Goodness gracious, my friend. That's a lot of soda. Isn't each one of those like... I don't even know how much sugar that would be. Goodness gracious. Nice area. It really is. Very, very peaceful. When an area like this is peaceful, it just gets me singing in my head a little bit. And then I just start humming randomly. I'm always just like, what song will it be today? Pop goes the diesel just popped into my head. Just, I know that's supposed to be weasel, but diesel is funnier. I am going to say that, just explicitly state my opinion on that fact. Even just look at a lot of these houses, like they just have such character to them, right? Like what a beautiful little neighborhood. Maybe like 14. I mean, that's still a lot of soda. I'm amazed you have any teeth left. Takes me 2 days to drink 24 pack. Not a single cavity, by the way. Oh my God. That blows my mind a little, buddy. It blows my mind a little. Well, if I ever need Coke, I know where to go. Maddie, where are we headed? That's a good question. I am currently on Bernard Avenue. Also, just look at this house. That's a really cool little one. I might just slowly start to make my way back. Meander home a little. Check out a couple of the areas here. Maybe swing up to Ragsden? That's the life. Yeah. So even looking at this house, I'm just like, what an interesting stately building. The way it has the bricks coming out down at the bottom like that. It's just nice to see the different patterns in the actual brick structure as well. Well done trims. Yeah, this is a nice area. Nice area. maybe the Shepherd subway can get expanded in the next 10 years. Hey, I think that would be a great idea. I'd love to see just how big a lot of the city can go. But the more transit that gets built, the better it is for everyone involved. I say it before, I'll say it again. It's just kind of true. Well, mind you, good transit is better than bad transit. And Toronto has like the fifth line 5, Eglinton, the Eglinton Crosstown, obviously had issues and was doing it for took many years longer to build than it should have. But the Finch, even line 6 going to Humber, I'm just like, that's opened and that's having problems. But we also can't expect it to be perfect from the get-go. But at the same time, we can still hope that it gets better. I mean, if we want to. I'm not too far off from First Last Cafe. Thank you for the journey. Thanks for joining us, Bee Queen. Good to have you today. What made you start doing their tours? They're very wonderful. Well, I started about 2 years ago. I had an opportunity come up where they were looking for tour guides, and I was just like, I like walking. I can introduce some interesting facts about the city. And so I started doing tour guides a little bit with them. And then as my knowledge of the city grew, I started booking more and more tours through a company called City Unscripted. And to be fair, you can still technically book me through there, but I prefer my own company because it's just better. But then while I was starting up, last year when I got back, when I got back in Fringe, my issue was that I didn't really have a lot of control over my own schedule, and it was very spotty, and I wasn't getting a lot of tour guide gigs. So I decided, let's just start my own. So that's why I started TOURonno, and that's where a lot of this kind of came from and began to build from. But then my friend Eddie, Ready Eddie on the YouTubes, you should go follow his channel if you don't already, but he suggested that I start to do this as something to just kind of promote my business and to get things out there and to encourage people to come to Toronto. And so I did. And it's been going very well since then. And I've enjoying this a great deal. So thank you for being a part of my journey. And I hope that you enjoy all these parts of Toronto that normally don't get seen, but I think they're super interesting and fun to show off. So there's all kinds of stuff you can actually explore and look through at this point. Why are more people still taking the line 34 bus more than line 5? Line 5 or line 6? Because line 5, I've actually heard good things about line 5. So I don't know if there's any issues there. But line 6, I have heard Vasily, another streamer, he apparently goes to Humber. And when he essentially rides things out there, apparently it is faster to take the bus than it is to take the stream, than to take a tram. And it's well, that's not a great thing. Well, the experience of riding on the subway was actually quite nice, so I guess it all depends. Once they sort it out, hopefully it gets better and faster. But it does make some very silly provisions. They built this whole thing, they built this whole area, and then they added way too many stops to it. And then they also didn't give the tram signal priority, which just kind of confuses me on so many levels. Why didn't you do this very basic thing? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Maybe the local Eglinton bus makes more different stop than line 5. That is also an option. I feel like a lot of the people who do take line 5 are primarily taking it to transfer lines midtown rather than coming downtown. So I kind of feel like that's the primary objective of the place. And to that extent, I would say that it is fairly successful. you get to meet more people also. Yes, I get to share my life with so many people. I do this every day, and you form. The thing I wasn't expecting is that like you form friendships with people online, so it's like this parasocial relationship. It's nice. And your YouTube channel is becoming bigger. It's not. It's slow growing, but it's getting there. And all I can do is keep stepping up to the plate, so to speak. I would love to see this channel hit. This is a goal. I don't know if it'll happen, but I would love to see this channel hit 10,000 by the end of the year. Is it doable? I don't know. But like, if I'm aggressive, and if I'm consistent, and if I get out there and I have friends who are willing to help out, you never know. We could end up with a channel of many, many things. But my big thing is, my hope is that when I'm doing my Fringe tour this year, when I'm actually going around and getting things done and getting places seen, my hope is that I will be able to do just interviews with people and talk about Fringe shows and talk about experiences and just really turn it into like a walk and talk show. Get interesting people to come together, get people who are different, and get perspectives about things. That's the hope. Had line 6 been totally elevation separated from the street, there would have been no problems in street lines and cars and pedestrians. I agree with you. Like, I don't think they necessarily needed to go underground with it, but they needed to separate it from the street somehow. And I feel like that would have solved. It's essentially just, they kind of made a problem for themselves, you know? It's kind of silly. Matti, you hit. I hit? I assume that's a good thing? I'll take it as a good thing. The SkyTrain would be cool. Right? I have often thought that, like, ironically enough, Toronto is probably one of the few places that could actually have a downtown city skyway. I think that would look really cool. Or blimps. Toronto could have blimps. Just an alternative form of transit. That would be 10,000. That's the hope, 10K. If I can get 10K people, that would be exceptional. Will I? I don't know. If I can keep it up, keep at it. I mean, if you folks know people who might enjoy walk tubing, please recommend me to them. It's a huge help in every way. Probably be about 4K by the end of the year. That's fantastic, my friend. Sorry I'm late. I was installing Ethernet cables. That's okay, Sam. It's good to have you, my friend. Thank you for joining us. Good afternoon. I think gondolas would be fun. A lot of fun for Toronto. They got them in the suburbs of Paris, right? I'm just like, here's the thing. On the one hand, it is just a form of transportation, another form of transportation people could use. But it's a bit of a novelty one. And just like, if you can really make it so it's something that's just relaxing and pretty, I feel like a lot of people would take it. By the way, we're walking through Ramsden Park. It's one of the bigger parks in Toronto, certainly in this area. But yeah, they've actually done a great deal of renovations to this area over the past couple of years. But I actually used to take my dog here all the time. And she was a lot. But it is cool to see that they're doing the pickleball open up, the tennis open up, giving people space to actually relax and enjoy and sport in the city, which is always nice. Ottawa should have went down to the ground. Might have been easier than digging Ottawa with one minor sinkhole and one deadly major sinkhole. Oh no. I haven't heard about the sinkholes, but sinkholes are always, those are always a problem in the city. Especially now. I get a couple more days off. I'm not mad about it. Heck yeah. Is it tennis season? You know what? Any time can be tennis season. That's probably like the last vestiges of the snow over there. But apart from that, it is a little chilly today, but certainly not as cold as it has been. That is for true. See how far you made it this far. Just be yourself. It will work out. Thank you, Mo. That is the hope. We're doing what we can with what we got. And here's my thing. The nice thing about today's day and age is like, I have legs and I have a camera and I have an ability to go places. And when I do, I get to take people along for the ride. Then they get to know me and I get to know them. It just kind of turns out well for everybody. So. Hello, Midge. Played PlayStation 2 for 2 months on Wi-Fi and finally wonder why it lagged. Finally hardwired it. Oh yes. The age-old question, hardwire or Wi-Fi? That's always the problem. Yes, hopefully work is going well. Hello, Pixie. I am so excited for your birthday. It's gonna be such a blast. Ugh. Doggo walking so. Yeah, the dog's actually walking the owner. That's the key. The short of the long management changes, so I'm just playing it out. It's a little scrambled right now. Fair enough. Ottawa is a very hard place of people. It's not easy. I believe that. Ottawa is a tricky destination, that's for sure. But also, lots of interesting stuff there too. For here you can see where the pool will be. Currently it's a hockey rink, I believe. But in the summer, I do believe that they make this a pool. Or maybe it's just a rink still. I actually don't know. Now that I think about it. It's like, wait a minute. This might just be a rink. I thought they had a pool here, but maybe they don't. It's been forever since I've been out dancing for a night with friends. My soul needs this. Heck yes. We're gonna get you a good time. It's gonna have so much fun. We're gonna go and eat food and go and party like it's 1999 and recess is on television. It's a good party. It's a good party. Miss dancing at raves. Haven't been to one in a while. I went to my first one in December and I wrote it into my show because it was just such a cool experience. But hopefully it's another good one this time. What a cool little staircase. A dog walker might be less likely of getting canceled slow than no-show touring. Yeah, fair enough. If I did ever do like dog walking, I could easily do that with this job. But how much can my legs really take? Actually, quite a bit. Let's be fair. Let's be fair. If there is food, I always go. Heck yes. Heck yes. Doing nothing, living life, living every day till I run out of money. All right. Raves remind me too much of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. That's a, well, first off, great song reference. But also, yes, I understand entirely. I don't like going there, stay away. They look at me, they look at me. All right, Ottawa? Them or Randy Steps. Oh no, we're not by Randy's. We're not by Randy's bike place. Randy's bike stop. But funny enough, we are coming out by the area. When me and Randy took the path up, if we had continued to walk up all the way, we would have actually come out right at the intersection up here, actually. Work is just stressful. Work is, yeah. Here's the thing. What's more stressful, work or not work? Because not having work is also very stressful. Why can't we all just be rich already, right? That would be the hope. I always hated having to be at a location for 12 hours, cannot leave. Yeah. That's a tricky time for sure. Any shift that's longer than 8 hours, I'm just like, that's a something. Remember one time at Snakes and Lattes, I had to do like an 18-hour shift. I was like, that was much. That was very much. Did a lot of Molly at raves. I don't know who Molly is. But I hope she was fun. And if I know my Molly, she would be. Me and my ex went to them all the time. Heck yeah, bud. Did that a year and a half ago, took 9 months off. It was awesome. Yeah, that's great, man. Maybe meet up. If I have time, I would love that. I will say my time in Ottawa is going to be very, very quick, but I should be there until Tuesday, hopefully. It depends on how I can find the tickets back and forth and how I can make things work out, but remember, Molly, it was the best feeling ever. I was a complete extrovert, chasing every girl I saw. Well, I hope they were faster than you. Molly, good memories for me. I mean, technically we can't talk about drugs on the channel, but I think we just have. So that's fine. Please no one report me. But I do talk a little bit about that in my show too. Have you eaten all the works? I haven't, I don't think. Sometimes I wonder which is more stressful. I've been homeless before and now I work a stressful 9-to-5 job. Financial security is great, but it's all two different kinds of stress, very much so. Ottawa, what's the occasion? It's Easter. So my mom asked me to come home for a few days, and I'm actually gonna go to read her dissertation because she's kind of moving to she's been working on this since I've lived in Toronto. It's like at least 15 years, which is amazing that she's still at it. But I'm just like, she's finally getting to the point where she feels like it's coming to an end. And I'm just like, okay, Mom, we're gonna get this out of the way for you. We're gonna do this. I'm gonna read it. So yeah, it should be a good time. I'm actually very proud of her. It's gonna be nice to see her finally have it up and running. Taking Flixbus, I hear it's cheap way Flixbus, but it goes along Highway 7. I think I'm gonna try for the train because I like the train. The train's always, oh, that sushi smelled so good. Oh, now I want sushi. Dissertation or a manifesto at this point. I think she said it was like 130 pages or something, and just like, goodness gracious. I'm gonna have to try to read all of this? All right. All right. Maybe, baby, said by Roger on American Dad. Love via via train first class. Yes. I won't be doing first class because, again, poor. But I've been craving fish and chips this week for some strange reason. You know, me and Matt were talking about this earlier this week, and now I just want fish and chips too. Because I haven't had them. Maybe that's what I'll have tonight. I should convince Joel to come out and we'll go get fish and chips. Oh, that's such a good idea. I want to do that now. Oh, Pixie, Rob, let's all go for fish and chips tonight. Oh my God, this is absolutely what's going to happen. I just have to convince Joel. Actually, who am I kidding? I'm not going to be able to convince Joel of anything. He's home. He left the house once today. He's not going to do that again. Do you know some good place for fish and chips? I do not. Need fish and chips in Ottawa? I mean, yeah. I'll get fish and chips anywhere. I mentioned fish and chips. See, you started with the fish and chips, and now we're all just like, you know what's great? Fish and chips. Fish and friggin' chips. Fish and chips takeout? Maybe. But yeah, my issue is that I actually have a dentist appointment on Tuesday, so I need to make sure I'm home for that. But at least I'll get a couple days with parents. The Scottish pub had good fish and chips. Ooh. I know there's a couple. I wonder if the Firkin has them, because Firkin might. I think actually Hair of the Dog does. But see if there's something close. See, now I'm hyped for fish and chips. But if I go anywhere, here's the thing, I'm hyped for fish and chips, but then anywhere I go out tonight will be like, well, I could get fish and chips, or I could just get the butter chicken grilled cheese from Hair of the Dog. And that just slaps so hard. Chips and curry sauce, or chips sauce, curry sauce over rice. I have heard about chips and curry sauce, and that sounds delicious. Doesn't the restaurant at Jarvis and Carlton have fish and chips? Possibly. We're gonna have to see. I'm gonna have to do some research, do some diggies. Wait, isn't that Hooker Harvey's? Well, if it is, then we know at least it's got fish. In my hometown, there was a great fish and chips place until they changed owners. Oh, that's the worst. When you have someone who like nails something and then they change owners and that's just not the same. You can tell when a place cares. Not the ones that make like Cisco crap. Smith Falls, the best fish and chips is at Matty O'Shea's. I'd love to go back to Smith Falls. I haven't been there since, well, my mom and dad lived in Merrickville for a couple years. So when I would go to visit them, we'd actually stop at Smith Falls. And then they'd come up there and pick us up. But yeah, Smith Falls is beautiful. I'll spread British cuisine to Canada. Going up, I had H Salt Fish and Chips nearby. Ooh. In between Waterford is New York State and Syracuse, not quite as north as Matty, but still 300 miles away. We have no snow either. Ooh. Well, at least it's warming up there then. Yeah, I'm just gonna go. No, we've done Yorkville. We don't need to do Yorkville again every day. It doesn't need to be the same thing every day. It just needs to happen. Matty's closer to Buffalo, we get tons of snow. Buffalo would, but I feel like I've heard that because of the lake insulation effect, that's why Toronto normally gets less snow. Although this year has been by far like the worst winter we've probably ever had. Certainly in the past couple decades. But like, yeah. There was that one day we got the most snow that Toronto has ever had, period. I don't know if we're proud of that or not, but we got it. Hey, Kyle. Good to see you, buddy. Let me know if you want to do a walk at some point. I have the next couple days fairly open if you want to come by. Much cheaper real estate on your side of the border. Ooh, a big one from Dustin. I was in Brockville. Used to be the best fish and chips back when the parent owned. Way too gross. Ah, that's unfortunate. I hate to hear something like when something was so good and then they just squandered the opportunity. The city looks really clean. It is actually quite clean. It's not perfect. We don't even have the street sweepers out regularly yet, but like Toronto keeps it fairly tight, which is nice. We've barely explored our little corner of the sky. All right. Like how everyone walks through the structure. I'll message. Sounds good, buddy. But it'd be good to have you around again. Also in Brockville, Don's Fish and Chips is the best fish. Yeah. Brockville would be a fun one to go to. Well, I would like to go to like... I want to actually go to a collection of different places in Ontario and just like do a one-day explore, right? Sal Smith. Hello, Sal. Caught you with Ken and Green Knight. I really want fish and chips now. TOURonno. Come for the tour, stay for the cravings of fish and chips. Here's my thing. Fish and chips, mandatory malt vinegar. Like you want the big, thick, heavy vinegar flavor. Dang it, I am so hungry now. Why did I do this to myself? What is wrong with me? Why am I hilarious? It's terrible. Yeah. Across the street they have the ballroom. Also Chick-fil-A. Which we don't like the being here, but that's fine. No fish and chips here, unfortunately. Actually, maybe in the ballroom, now that I think about it. I've never been to the ballroom. One day I hope to go. But I have to, a couple things need to fall into place before I can do that. Look at Kingston, across the border, Watertown, New York, and compare. Yeah, it's actually kind of a fun way to go about it. Hey, as many different places as I can explore at this point. Just like, I'm really enjoying the opportunity I have to kind of go places and show things off, see what's going on. Joey Eaton's. Oh, yeah, they might have it. I'm gonna have to go home and see what Joel has to say. See if I can make him stop playing Slay the Spire 2, so that we can both play Slay the Spire 2, and then potentially go for fish and chips later. It's gonna be a busy day. Memorizing things, doing things, going places, eating food. What an unheard of accomplishment. We're Canadian almost here. Heck yeah, bruh. Welcome to the club. As far as I'm concerned, if you're nice, you're probably a Canadian. So even if you're not a Canadian, you can still be nice. And then people will think you're Canadian. The most important thing you do with your life is never pronounce the second T in Toronto. If you do, bad things happen. Kindness matters. Heck yeah, brah. Bacon baps are delicious. Canadian bat bacon in a buttered burger bun with ketchup. That does sound delicious. Maybe not ketchup. I feel like ketchup is taking that in a weird direction. But like, actually, what am I thinking? Ketchup is fine, but it's not enough. It needs more. Like maybe ketchup and sriracha? That'd be nice. I could go for those. In fact, now I want to. Whoa, I love those pants. Those are so cool. I pronounced Calgary, Calgary, just to troll. It's supposed to be Calgary. Oh, so you do Calgary instead of Calgary. I think I've always said Calgary. Count your toes, not the T's. You know it. You toe it, I should say. Walk by this guy so we can get through really quickly. Walk by the abandoned Scientology building. Love that British candy store across the street. Yes. Retro candy bars. See, this is one of the few areas where there still feels like there's a vibrant independent store area of Toronto, but there's still like a couple brands are still moving in. But a lot of places that you've just never heard of if you're a Toronto native. I do hope that as Yonge Street does gentrify more, because it will. This area will grow. This area will blossom into more and different things. But yeah, as it grows and expands and more things happen, I do hope that at least the flavor of an area like this is preserved. Because I want to have like the little weird stores in the middle of stuff. Like this. What the heck is this? Who thought that was a good idea? But I mean, it's adorable, I guess, but also it's terrifying. It doesn't deserve to be there. Hello, Strawberry Field. Good to have you today. Most of upstate New Yorkers avoid New York City. Well, it's also just different mentalities, right? Same way like Northern Ontario and Toronto are two different diametrically opposed forces. You need to have the rural so you can appreciate the city. But the rural doesn't appreciate the city until they come into the city and they realize the city is awesome. But then like rural places are awesome too. They just don't get as much attention, which is why there is always such tension. Basically, upstate New York, are they basically rednecks? Small Asian niche foods and dessert places have been really found their niche on that strip of Yonge Street. They really have. Like there's even some in the village, like there's bingsu, which is something I'd never tried before, but I went with Hunter a couple weeks ago. Actually, I guess it's a couple months ago. And that was delicious. I would go back there again and again because it was delicious. So, one place I'd like to live is Vermont. Very nice. I hope you get the chance to go there. Northern USA states are basically Canadians. We used to live in North York, Upper Toronto, and it felt completely different than here. It does. It's funny how just being in a little bit of a different area of a city can actually feel like a different city. Like even when I'm just walking through places. Like today I walked through the Annex, and that feels, or walked through Yorkville, that feels very different than down here. And now that I'm back on Yonge Street, like you could just see the city is so wide and varied and interesting and dynamic. And all it takes is a little walk somewhere, and you're in a completely different world. All right, so I'm always curious now whenever I see a fruit stand or a flower, like the flower stand could go either way, but like I've realized that I can find a box of strawberries for $1. So if these strawberries, are $3.99 each or 2 for $7. So not great prices. 2 for $5, that's $2.50 each. It's not the worst prices, but not the best prices. But those grapes on top looked actually delicious, I'm not gonna lie. That's a good looking fruit stand. That fruit looks it looks expensive because it is. But that actually looked like a really good fruit stand, I'm not gonna lie. That fruit looked fresh as, fresh. Fresh AF. Downtown tax, right? However, after going to Chinatown, I'm just like, I will always get fruit from here now. Because, oh my God, I ended up leaving with like 3 bags and it cost me $40. Just like, this is incredible. Normally I have to steal from Loblaws for that kind of prices. Should that be another one of my t-shirts, proudly stealing from Loblaws? Maybe that should be another one of my t-shirts. Walking is the best activity in Toronto in my opinion, always new stuff to look at. And it's underrated, and it makes the city affordable. Matti endurance is amazing. He can walk all day. Well, funny enough, I'm actually just gonna I'm almost at like the end of the walk today, but I did have a good time. Not quite there yet. I'm probably got another 5 minutes or something. I figure I'll go over to Jarvis and kind of come around. But do not steal except from Loblaws. Better t-shirt logo. Or you could just do the Loblaws logo, but just call it Low Blows. So does a bus pass make city affordable? Funny enough, no. Unless you are taking the bus 2 times a day, every day for like a month at least. Bus pass doesn't save you, or like the amount of money you spend on the TTC is usually better to just have a Presto and tap on when you need. The nice thing about that is if you do tap on somewhere in Toronto, it will allow you to transfer to any other TTC station or TTC adjacent station for free for like a 2-hour period from when you first tap on, which is incredibly useful because sometimes you go someplace, you're only there for a little bit, and then you can tap to get back on the same pass you used to get there in the first place. It can be nice. It can be nice. Makes groceries easy. Keeps a pair of handcuffs in his backpacks just in case he takes things. Now, everyone knows I don't actually steal from Loblaws. It's too much effort. You have to walk there, you have to walk it out. It's so hard. I do not recommend stealing from anywhere. Oh, of course not. I do like to point out, it is a joke. Stealing from Loblaws is a joke. It's just a really funny one. There's a lot of ill will towards specifically like Galen Weston as the first billionaire of Toronto, like first Canadian billionaire, while also like charging an arm and a leg for groceries while a lot of people are literally like starving. So the whole joke is just like steal from Loblaws because, you know, you're a Canadian civilian. But do I actually recommend stealing from Loblaws? No, it's too much effort. Hello, David. Almost dinner time. You once stole someone's heart, I bet. I mean, I probably did. I have the heart of a lion. That's why I'm not allowed back in the zoo. The paper transfers in Toronto were such a pain. No one, yeah, those were always annoying. Leftover meat from slow cooking last night. What should I do it with? Sandwich or pasta? I'm gonna say pasta. Pasta's always a good choice. Let's go. You gonna watch the new Malcolm in the Middle? They rebooted Malcolm in the Middle? Why? Anyways. I stole many hearts. There's Understory. They're lovely. I don't think Dewey is the reboot. Maybe you can make the fish and chips at home cheaper. I have never deep fried something from home. I've actually never done that. One day, maybe. It just seems like deep frying things is just such a hard thing to do. Just in general, it just seems like a hard thing to do. Such a chore and a mess, right? I know Toronto isn't exactly landlocked, but I only appreciate fish from the ocean, from the coasts. That makes sense. Maddie is an example of dangers of an extrovert. If you fall for them, be careful, they're too wonderful. Aw. If it helps, I'm actually a terrible human. I have many references. My ex, that's enough references. By the way, if you ever get a chance to go to Unholy Donuts down there, so friggin' good. Really expensive donuts, but really friggin' good donuts. They have like flavors like lemon meringue. Ridiculous. Very ridiculous. Air fryer. I have heard good things about air fryers. I don't have one. I think Hunter was going to get one, but I don't quite know if that's happened or not. Donuts worth the money. Heck yeah. Although it's not a donut day today, I don't believe Unholy Donuts is my ideal treat. Maybe they have a birthday deal. We don't know. We can find out the day of. That donut store is so tucked away on Holy Donuts. It really is. No air fryer? Okay, I do have an air fryer. I just love it. I've used them before. When I go to Florida and I stay with Brian and Eric sometimes, I'll just have, like, they have an air fryer, so I can just use it there. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking very much forward to getting home and having my little smash burger wrap that I made. Because, oh my God, it's so tasty. It was so tasty. Well, friends, that's gonna be it for me today. Thank you for joining me on this wonderful little walk. Unfortunately, my tour wasn't able to come, but I am still here. And if you or someone you know is looking for a unique experience, why not give them a customized walking tour? You can find links to my services in the description below to VIATOR and TRIPADVISOR. I just want to point out one thing that I don't often get to showcase, is that this here is actually the Garden of Lost Boys. And the reason why this isn't made was because there's a man named Luke and he lost his partner. And so he wanted to find a way to memorialize so many of the people who had been lost in the queer community due to the AIDS epidemic. And so he created this lovely little garden. And it's a place that deserves to be protected, and he takes loving care of it. And as we see it in the next couple months, it's going to just explode and be absolutely beautiful. So we'll keep your eyes open for this one, but it's a really nice space, and we hope you enjoy. But thank you for joining us. If you do get the chance, please like and subscribe. It does help out a major way. And tell a friend. Let them know that you're interested in a walktuber from Toronto who is cool sometimes, and he loves to show people his city. So thank you so much for coming along for the ride, and we will see you all very, very soon. Bye.